Vegas wants you broke and angry, but we're coming in hot with 7 winners. Yes, you heard 7 winners this weekend. Let's go.
Lose! I don't lose! I win! That's my job! That's what I do!
Welcome into Big Bet Energy, our first show. Make sure you subscribe to Big Football Energy. This is also airing on Big East Energy Network. So if you're not a subscriber of that, please subscribe to both channels. It's going to be a weekly show every Thursday morning. So grab your cup of coffee and come hang out with us while we pick some winners. All right, let's get into it. This week's board has a couple of games that look real strange on paper, and we're going to break down why the books might be dangling some bait. And then we'll pivot to NFL and some spreads, some totals, and some team props that we really like. Let's get into it. First one, South Florida versus Florida. Yes, the Gators and I believe the Bulls, right? We like this. And I know I put Houston up there too, so just bear with me. So the two picks that were going in college on the weekend, let's start with the South Florida. They knock off Boise State. Big emotional win, and everybody suddenly thinks USF is for real. So what do the odds makers do? They turn around and hang a massive line. Florida is favored by 17.5. That number makes people want to grab USF. But as Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friend. The number makes people want to do it, but here's the reality. This is a trap. Florida has SEC speed. They've been waiting to show something. And if you fall for the underdog hype, you're going to get buried. Trust me on this. To me, this smells like a Florida 17.5 play all day. It may not look pretty. It may just be a 3-score win, 21 points. But this is the side the books don't want you to take. They want you to take that 17.5 points and think, oh, yeah, I mean, USF, they beat Boise State. We're gonna take that hype train and run with it. Don't do it. Don't fall for it. Be a sharp bettor. Let's go. Gators 17.5. Hit me up. Send me that cash app, son. -14 Houston versus Rice. Okay. They looked rough last week against Stephen F. Austin, a team that has it's just a terrible, terrible football team. Only won 27-0. Didn't cover. Didn't look explosive. Just kind of slogged their way through. So what does Vegas do? They send Houston on the road to Rice. Again, not a very good football team, and still make them a 2-touchdown favorite at -14. Everybody's going to look at that and look at the past results and say, no way Houston can cover that because of this past week, which is exactly why I'm leaning the other way. This line is begging you to take Rice. Don't do it. Rice is not your friend. Eat some quinoa. Get a leaner body like me. Don't do it. Houston, the Cougars, let's bounce back. And I like them to cover the 14 here. More NCAA picks coming on Friday. Now, listen, I'll be honest. This week's board is tough when we get to the NFL. It's not screaming obvious spots yet. But by Friday, I'll have 3 solid college plays locked and loaded that we'll we'll post it on the YouTube channel. There will also be a Big Bet Energy Twitter page that you guys can follow. If it's not out already, definitely look for it. It's going to be exactly how it sounds. Big Bet Energy. We'll have the crown on it. We'll drop those for you before kickoff, so make sure you subscribe. Let's get into the NFL picks coming up after the break. Okay, so we got those 2 picks locked for the show. Florida -17.5, Houston -14 at Rice. Let's do some NFL plays of the week. All right. Full disclosure. I am not a Cowboys fan, nor am I an Eagles fan. I'm a Giants fan, and I can't stand both of these teams. But when it comes to betting, I bet with my brain, and I bet with analytics. And let's be honest, I ask a lot of sharp bettors. One of my absolute friends, colleagues, and former bosses of mine is an absolute stud handicapper. And every time I've ever been to Vegas, I stopped betting my own money on blackjack, on picks and basically just gave him a pool of money, and I would always get returns. Most of these picks are consulted by that sharp bettor, who essentially, if he wanted to, and he kind of does already, is semi-retired, and all he does is take about $1,000 a week to the casino and comes back with $5,000 a week, and just that's his deal over and over and over again. He does it with picks. He's also a daily fantasy just maven. I think he won a $600,000 pot just last year. So let's just want to put those caveats out there. This isn't just coming out of left field. These are tried and true great picks. Also, notoriously difficult to pick week 1 or even week 2 in college football, as we just did there. So there's no caveats. We're going to have accountability, but let's get into the picks. Let's talk NFL. We start with the game everybody's got circled because it's the first game of the year. Dallas at Philly. Is it in San Paulo? I don't know. Let's double check that. Absolutely not. It's in that wonderful city of Philadelphia. I don't want to say that out loud again. So let's take a look at what we're putting out there. The Cowboys are catching 9.5 points. At least that's the book I'm using. I think some books have it at 8.5. If you can get it at 10, definitely take advantage of it. Dak Prescott is 14-2 against the NFC East since 2021. 14-2. I'm going to say that again. 14-2. And it feels like nobody's talking about it. He's hardly been healthy in past Eagles matchups. This time he is. That's too many points. I like Dallas to keep this within 1 touchdown. We are going Cowboys at plus 9.5 right there. There's really no other explanation. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. It may even be a 2-touchdown game for most of the game. But when the rubber meets the road, the cover will be plus 9.5 with the Dallas Cowboys. And, listen, just from a logistical standpoint, they just traded away their best defensive player. They got a good defensive run stopper. We all know that Micah Parsons couldn't stop the run. Kenny Clark is an upgrade in terms of stopping the run. So I do think that they're going to get this, keep this under the 9.5 point spread. Let's go to the next one. A lot of over-unders. That's the only real pick of the week because, as any seasoned bettor knows, weeks 4 through weeks like 14 are when you really have a handle on who these teams are and what their tendencies are. When it comes to over-unders and some statistical bets, now we're talking, okay? So I'm going to throw about 3 different over-unders on the board right now. We're going to go over each one of them right now. So we got the first one, Steelers versus Jets. We're taking the under. I know it's a small spread, 38.5, but give me the under because Pittsburgh defense is a nightmare matchup for Justin Fields. Yes, is he going to get some rushing yards? If you're a fantasy football guy, I would implore you to have Justin Fields into your team because he's going to get rushing touchdowns, passing touchdowns, but not a ton in this game. He's going to be under duress all game, which means turnovers or 3-and-outs. And Aaron Glenn is a first-year coach that's rough and tumble, and he's going to want to, just like Dan Campbell, want to establish the run, which is automatically going to take time off the clock as well. On the other side, you got old man Aaron Rodgers, and you got a Steelers offense. Yes, they have DK Metcalf now, but it's not the greatest show on turf, guys. This is going to be a knockdown, run it. You may get some passing touchdowns in this game. Hopefully, if you have DK Metcalf or Aaron Rodgers in your fantasy team, that helps you. But I think they're going to run the ball. Mike Tomlin is notoriously conservative, and I think he wants to just get out of here with a win. It's basically a brand new offense, brand new faces everywhere. I think those 2 factors are key to keeping this in the under 30.5. First-year coach, Aaron Glenn. I think the Jets are actually going to be in a good place with him. But you can't underscore that being like a 20-17 game or, a 21-7 game or even a field goal extravaganza where it's like 19-13. That to me is an under game all the way. Next one, Jacksonville, the team total over 24.5. Jacksonville with 24 points. Carolina was a bottom 5 in yards allowed per game last year. They didn't make any significant defensive changes in the offseason. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags offense should be able to put up 4 touchdowns. I love 24.5 here. I think they're going to definitely showcase that. And I also think Carolina is going to showcase some pretty good offensive skill sets here. I think you, if it's not on the board, but you might want to take a peek at the over for that game as well. And then as far as another team total, I got Arizona over 25.5. Same logic for Arizona. Saints were also one of the worst defenses last year in terms of yards allowed. No major upgrades, no big scheme changes. Kyler and that Cardinals offense are going to move the ball. If they finish drives, 25.5 is a very reachable number. I think that's a 30 or 32 points on the board for Arizona. Book it. Okay. Let's go to the final aspects of Big Bet Energy's first show. Let's reveal the full game over that we're going to play on this. That is Tampa Bay versus Atlanta over 47.5. And that's to me is finally, because we picked one game, right? Tampa and Atlanta, the total sits at 47.5. I like the over. Both of these teams want to show off their offenses early this season. Tampa's going to spread it out. Lots of passing. Atlanta's going to run it down your throat with their young core and Bijan Robinson. They're going to try to protect Michael Penix, but I also think that he's going to have a good game. And if either side hits big plays early, which I believe they will, this could turn into a shootout, something 27-24, 31-28, and that's an over cash in. Remember, just cover, baby. It doesn't matter. By one, by half of one. Hell, I'll take a couple pushes in week one. But we do feel as if we have some really great 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winners in this week. We'll take a 5-2 week, a 6-1 week, but if you want to trail our picks, please do so. Again, like I said, once this is out and on YouTube, we will have a social media post that kind of goes over all of these as well. So let's recap. College side, Florida 17.5, Houston -14, and I'll have 3 more college locks for you Friday. NFL side, Friday afternoon. NFL side, Cowboys +9.5, Steelers and Jets under. Jacksonville team total over 24.5. Arizona team total over 25.5. Tampa and Atlanta over 47.5. That's the first episode of Big Bet Energy. We'll be here every week breaking down lines that we love, finding the traps for you, hopefully giving you that edge before the weekend. Hit the subscribe button for the Big East Energy Network and Big Football Energy channel, and let's ride this season together. Big Bet Energy, because Final Four tickets don't pay for themselves.